Welcome to Be Great Today, a weekly podcast to help you start your week. My name is Jonathan Bloom, or Frasley Sparkspan in World of Warcraft. Today I want to talk about consistency. One thing I've been doing since November of 2014 has been working on getting steps each day. Back in August of 2014, my sister got a Fitbit for her birthday. The concept fascinated me. Accountability each day for something that you add to your life. I thought that I was always active and that I was doing things the right way and all that, until I realized I actually am more sedentary. I need more accountability than I was giving myself. So one night around 9 o'clock when I was at Starbucks with a friend, I know, getting caffeine that late at night, I was up for a little while. I saw the barista had one of those smartwatches. Back then it was the one of the Samsung watches. I was like, that looks really cool. So I started asking her about it, and she liked it, but she also told me about Fitbit. I was like, oh, and do they sell those here? And she's like, yeah, back over in the electronics department. So I went back there, bought a Fitbit Flex. I was just amazed at the idea of something tracking you and tracking your every move. Then I was doing my Fitbit here and there, kind of getting my steps, like, yay, I got my steps. But then the days I didn't get my steps, I was like, oh, okay, I'll get it. I'll get tomorrow. I'll get it tomorrow. I'll get it tomorrow. It took until January when I finally decided, you know what? I'm going to make this a goal. I'm going to get my steps every day. I found a few apps like Achievement, which is still around. Back then, I got Packed app, which used to charge you money for your missed days and stuff like that. They went out of business, but the idea I've kept. So like these apps were giving me reward and incentive where I would make money, and Packed was charging me on the days that I did not make my steps. So I kept at it. One thing that I did not do correctly was I made my goal a little too complicated. I had started out at 12,000 steps, and I did great until we went to Williamsburg over 4th of July. And I was like, I'll go on vacation. Yeah, it's just 1 week. I don't need to get my steps. It took me until February of the next year to finally get back on board and finally keep at it. One thing about habits is you need consistency. It helps when things kind of motivate you and let you know what's going on. Like there's an app called Strides app on iOS, and that app will tell you how you're doing. It will kind of talk with you. You can set goals. So like I will put a habit in Strides that I need to achieve, and it'll tell me, yay, you have achieved this for this many days. Or, yeah, you messed up today, but tomorrow, let's get back at it. So it helps me keep going. My Bible app now tells me how many days I've opened it. It keeps me motivated to go back each day to make that number increase. And the app will tell you if you break your stride, how many days your last record was. So far, I have kept at it, but that's also because I have a goal of reading the Bible each day. So it's a personal goal that I've kept, and that's why I like when like apps will tell you different things. I find some of the best ways to create consistency is to create short-term goals. Don't think all in the long term, like I need to do this. Make a goal like, you know what, this week I'm going to do this. If you even want to be more specific, today I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this today. Okay. Tomorrow comes, I'm going to do this. Okay. Next day comes, I'm going to do this. Once you achieve your goal and you're satisfied with it, don't just stop there. Add more or change your existing goals. Make these goals realistic ones that you can achieve. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to do that. Don't make my mistake of doing 12,000 steps, something that you can't do all the time. I was involved in something called Step Bet, which is actually, it was a pretty cool idea. It was 6 weeks where I said, I'm going to have these many days of being active and these days of stretch. It was great. I even did it one day when I was not feeling at all well, but I got my goal in. But it was one of those I realized, I could do it, but I can't sustain it at this level. Make your goals specific. Don't go with like lose weight or make more money or I'm going to finally pay off that. Make them like specific goals, kind of like the 10,000 steps each day. I do one. I'm going to post a quote each day. I'm going to wish friends on Facebook happy birthday. Small goals that I can keep consistent at. And I keep myself accountable through a couple different to-do programs. But I make these goals that are consistent. One thing that I find is if I remove goals that aren't beneficial, it helps a lot. And then I add ones that are beneficial. Kind of finding things that I did this, but I don't think I need to do this anymore. Forgive yourself for missing days, but make the next day intentional. It takes a lot longer to get back onto something once you leave a project. Once you fall off the bicycle, it takes a long time to get back on. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I do not know how to ride a bike. It's one thing, I had a very bad scrape of my arm. It was bad. Since then, I have not gotten back on a bicycle. It's one of those things I need to work on for myself. I have done projects in the past. Many are in hiatus right now. It's fine to take a break from projects. Just know that it can be hard to get back in. I've got a lot of things that I want to do, but I'm like, oh, well, it's been so long since I do it. I'm not taking a break from my current projects. I've been very intentional when I've created my new projects. They're things that I like to do, and that they are things I know I can sustain. One thing I did is I started new projects, and I'm building on my prior experiences. So far, by being consistent, I have 17 episodes of Frazzlecast, 4 of the Frazzle Report, and 3 of Be Great Today, including this episode. I just want to encourage you. Look for habits that you want to start, but keep at it. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about podcasting, which may sound strange, but it is actually very helpful to hear tips on podcasting. One of the things that I hear from a lot of different people like Daniel J. Lewis, Dave Jackson, is keep at it. When you start a new habit, it will be hard. It will not be easy when you start it. Keep at it. The longer you do it, the better you will get. You will learn as you go along. Don't wait till you have perfected a project or a habit before you start it. Definitely do your research while you're working on that habit of ways you can improve. Treat every opportunity as a learning opportunity. I have learned a lot since June of this year when I started doing these podcasts. But yeah, most definitely, keep consistent. Find goals. I saw a quote today that was very inspiring. Theodore Roosevelt said that comparison is the thief of joy. Use comparison to see what other people are doing who are successful at what you want to do, but do not compare yourself to that other person because 1, they are not walking the same journey you are, and 2, they are not going to do it the same way you are doing it. We are all unique. We all have our own talents, our own skills, and we are all growing on the journey of life. This has been Be Great Today. I am Jonathan Bloom, also known as Fazley Sparkspan in World of Warcraft. You can find us at be-great.today. I hope you have an awesome week, and I will see you here next Sunday.